guys back, him, Daquan, how helpful can that be to your defense? And where do you try to look to improve now, getting some of these guys back?
Well, it certainly can't hurt. Jeff was doing a lot of good things in there for us. Just trying to get the roster back to, to close to full strength as we possibly can be. Working through some things from the game on Tuesday. So we'll see where these guys are at after practice. And then, we always look to improve, each and every week, whether that's on special teams, defense, got to improve third down. There's a lot of things to work on in all three phases.
Jim?
Mike, I guess how was the overall conditioning level impacted by having so much time off? And have you had to structure practices different, kind of keeping that in mind?
Well, I wouldn't say that the practices are structured any differently because of conditioning. I would say it's probably due to health and soreness and some of those things as opposed to conditioning level. But I think the conditioning can always improve.
And as far as the injury report, so many guys on there, I mean, is that almost a situation where you've got to weigh rest maybe being more important than practice for some of these guys coming off of a game Tuesday?
Well, we have to continue to work and show them things that they're going to see in the game or what we think they're going to see. Try to get them as ready as possible for under the circumstances of a quick turnaround. And we try to structure the schedule that's going to have them ready to go. It changes every week, just like it did last week, just like it will this week.
Terry?
Mike, along those lines, what's the biggest challenge for you after going 2 weeks with no work, except for Zoom meetings and then a couple of practices and playing to now having to turn around on a short week against a division foe?
That's how the schedule fell. We knew that it's what it was going to be last week, and so now we'll go out here in a little bit and work, practice, get going. Evaluate how guys feel, and then move on to tomorrow and what we have to do after getting some first and second, third down work today, and see if we can't put it all together tomorrow with some red zone and try to be ready. We're going to have to continue to prepare all the way up until the game.
Corey?
Coach, how delicate is the balance between getting after a guy like Deshaun Watson and keeping containment? How big of a task is that?
It's a huge task. He's a special talent, great person. So we're gonna have to try to do a better job than what we did last week. With Josh, and every week is a new challenge. This week is obviously, Houston, coming off a great performance, big win. They played complimentary. They got turnovers, and they took advantage of them. They mixed tempos. They got big plays. They scored touchdowns in the red zone. So it'll be difficult with Deshaun, like it is a lot of quarterbacks that are athletic and talented. It's just that he's the challenge this week.
Teron?
Yeah, Coach, we saw your DBs very active in the blitz game. What is it about some of those guys that you feel confident in sending them in the blitz when necessary?
Well, we've had success with different people playing in different positions and blitzing from different spots and just trying to change, different looks up. Every week is different, but, a lot of times it's about the blitzer and not the blitz. So we continue to identify guys that can go and affect plays by blitzing.
And then when you have a tandem like Vaccaro and Byard, how much does that help you be able to disguise coverages the way you guys do from time to time?
Well, I think that the more you know somebody and the more you know their job and they know yours, you're allowed to, it allows you to communicate with the guy next to you, the guy in front of you. I'd say we got a long way to go, to get that, throughout the entire defense.
John?
Hey, Mike, we've seen, Ryan Tannehill put up great numbers almost as soon as he's gotten in the starting lineup for you guys. Why has it been such a good fit for Ryan with this system or with you or Arthur or whatever? And how important is kind of a fit, for success for a quarterback, you think?
I think fit, you touching on fit, I think that goes for, a lot of things that we do here with our team and around the league and situations that players, maybe it didn't work out for somebody and they go somewhere else and have a little bit more success, and somebody uses them a little bit differently, or they're coached, somewhat differently. So that happens a lot. That's somewhat, frequent that guys maybe have success somewhere else than they did at their first or second stop. They are more prepared to take advantage of the opportunity. I can't really, other than Ryan's done exactly what we've asked him to do, operate the offense. It hasn't been perfect, but there's a strong understanding there of what we're trying to do and get done, based on the plan that we have that week.
Yeah, I guess, can you relate a little bit to that experience yourself? Having more success at a second stop than somebody did at the first?
Probably, and that's all part of it. And that's always a message to the players is, you're working here, you're not getting frustrated about, your involvement here or how much you're playing or what it is, and continue to come in and improve your value to the football team, and, continue to improve and take advantage of your opportunities when they arise, whether that's here or maybe later on down in your career.
Thanks.
Chris Harris?
Hey, Mike, I was just wondering, when you evaluate Houston over the last few games, did they look any differently under Romeo last Sunday than they did under Bill the first few weeks, whether it be schematically, execution-wise, what have you?
I think there's always, they're always going to have some game plan plays in all three phases. They do a really nice job of that, showing a few wrinkles defensively, some complementary plays off of formations that, they've shown earlier in the year. But I wouldn't say that it's a drastic difference. They had played well. They were beating Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh, in the fourth quarter, and just weren't able to close it out. And they've played well throughout the course of the year. I would say that the first thing I've learned is that records don't mean anything in this league at all whatsoever. You'll have to play well and give yourself a chance to win. If you don't play well in this league, you're guaranteed to lose. Playing well doesn't ensure that you're going to win. It's just going to give you an opportunity to win.
Paul?
Hey, Mike, you had on your estimated report yesterday of your corners, 4 would have missed, 1 would have been limited. We know Christian was coming back off COVID. How much better a shape will you be in today? You're going to have to use coaches again or some receivers. What's the status there?
We'll take inventory of where we're at. The coaches won't have to be on the injury report. The players will be listed, as we see how they go through practice and, at what level they can execute. We'll try to get some work in. Obviously we have to go practice, and we'll see who's available and make sure that we find ways to get guys the game plan.
You talked about your reaction to the stiff arm yesterday. Was I wrong to sense you were being a little sarcastic when you said it was the greatest 5-yard run you'd ever seen? What did you
probably say that? I'm sorry, go ahead, finish. I didn't hear you.
What did you take from the run? What did you take from the juice that it maybe gave guys?
Sure. I think that there's been a lot of great runs in this league, and, there was a lot of excitement over that particular play. So I was probably a little tongue in cheek there. It's good to see it. It's certainly a weapon that Derek has had in his running style. We've all seen that. I want that. I want those punt returns to bring energy. I want defensive stops to bring energy, or continue to transfer energy throughout each and every phase of our football team. So if that can create some energy, I love that guys are into it on the sidelines. If AJ picks up a penalty or converts a third down on our sidelines, guys are excited, and no different than that play with Derek.
Thanks.
Gentry.
Yeah, Mike, has there been any closure yet in terms of the NFL in the last couple of weeks as it pertains to the team? And are you expecting there will be closure to all that?
I didn't know that there was an open-ended, that we were looking for any sort of conclusion. We're just trying to do everything we can do to, keep our players here healthy, our staff healthy. So, we're in continued conversations with the league about, what our enhanced protocols are, and ways that we can try to ensure a safety. And so, it's not like it's not an open-ended conversation, where we're continuing conversation to talk to them and, hey, are we still working in these parameters and having meetings in the bubble, and everything that they've recommended that we do. So I don't know what the conclusion, if there ever will be a conclusion, or summary or closure, I guess is what I'm saying, that we're always going to be working through this thing as the season goes along.
Kayla.
Hey, Coach. I know Isaiah Wilson coming off that COVID list, a good sign. He was on that for quite a while. What are the next steps for him, just kind of getting him back, getting him healthy and in those practices?
Well, it's about practice. It's about being able to execute in practice, and, his level of understanding since he's been away. What does he recall? What has he learned? How can he help us, his performance, that we'll try to identify as we go out here to practice. And then we make a decision and see where, he best helps the football team.
Jim.
Mike, what have you seen from Jeremy McNichols when he's gotten his opportunities, and how are you at running back behind Derek with Darrington going on short-term IR?
I would say that Jeremy is one of those players that's, taking advantage of, his opportunities. Love his toughness, and he's a player that puts the team first. He's prepared. He's ready to go in there. A lot of our success in that game was due to Jeremy and his ability to protect on third down, protect in the passing game when they blitzed. That was a huge key. Gave us some good runs there when he was in there as well.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
Thanks,
Thanks.
Mike.